The MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Fantasy. Get up to 1K in a deposit match. Sign up for Fantasy. Promo code MLB SGPN. And welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It is currently Monday morning, July 14th, around 10 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm Rose Scott Reichel, once again joined by Adam Rosenberg together. We are not going to do some props for games because we don't have any games for the baseball card. It's All-Star Weekend. But instead, we're going to break down the Home Run Derby. So instead, we're going to go through all the contestants, go through the odds, talk about some props with the Home Run Derby as well. But it is officially a contest-based episode. There are not many games to choose from. So there you go. Adam, how's it going with you? I know year after year, we tend to dominate this competition. Last year, we had an episode. We picked Teoscar to win, and he won. So overall, been a good event for us. Going to try to keep it rolling. Adam, how's it going?
It's good, but it's not All-Star Weekend because unlike the other sports, they decided to do this in the middle of the week. Which makes no sense in the summer when people are doing vacations. It's just a terrible event.
Yeah, my bad. I didn't mean weekend. I kind of
no. I know. I'm just pointing out the fact, like the point. But
yeah,
no. Look, last year we crushed. We are the guys to talk to for a casual, hey, I'd love to drop $1,000 on an exhibition home run derby. Can you tell me how to do this? So we can do that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to add onto this. No, games tonight. So we're giving stuff live. A lot of markets aren't there anymore that we killed last year. Specifically, it looks like two-way market. They got rid of like most of the two-way markets that you and I were just annihilating, you know?
Yeah, I think the main market that I miss the most is the exit velos unders for people, which we had a good time with last year. They took that off. Instead, now they have who hits the highest exit velocity instead of giving you a set number to choose over or under on everybody. Because I think everyone besides one person went under last year.
Yeah, Bobby was the only one who went over.
Yeah, so we also had Bobby for highest velo. That ended up winning too, but the point is, they did get rid of a couple of markets. They got shelled last year, so they definitely had to fix some things for them. I hate it, but the argument is, once again, since it is an exhibition, you could argue it doesn't matter. On the other hand, you might get some soft markets because the people that are setting the lines have noted what they're actually doing, and you can find yourself some very soft opportunities.
And we're going to talk about that.
And we're going to talk about it. So
we found a few of them.
Even though you might think of it as an exhibition, there's money to be made. There were people betting the draft yesterday in Major League Baseball.
Yeah,
you can make money on
anything. I got bad intel from Andrew. I was like, because an agent gave him bad intel. So
it's fine. I know the Nationals had a shocking first overall pick, and that kind of set a domino effect for other teams. But the point is, if you're going to be betting on the draft and betting on other stuff, you can make money betting on the Home Run Derby. So there you go. Something to keep in mind. But
one last thing I'd add is that the market that they don't have that I miss, unless someone sees it, the head-to-head matchups are gone.
Yeah.
As is to not make the semifinals. As you and I famously last year said that Jose Ramirez, or who was it that we had to not make it? We had, I think like Adolis. Gunnar to not make the semifinals at like plus 190. And it crushed.
Yeah, I think they got rid of some of those markets because they got rid of the bracket, which you might have alluded to. So there might have been a different format.
They didn't have a bracket last year.
Yeah, that is true. They've kind
of the same format as last year. There's no excuses. They got rid of a lot of stuff.
They got rid of a lot of stuff. They're constantly tweaking formats, whatever. Point is that we're here to bet on it, so it should be fun. Looking forward to it. If you didn't know, it was actually going to be tonight at around 8 p.m.
I had no idea, by the way, until about an hour ago. I thought it was
so there you go. It was going to be tonight, and then you have the All-Star game tomorrow, so there you go. Anyway, before we get into any of the actual preview of the Home Run Derby, a reminder that you can find all the picks and podcasts for SGPN on the SGPN app. So once again, it's free to download. Check it wherever you do get your apps. Anyway, starting off with the actual outrights for the event. Got to read off the actual contestants for the competition. So initially, if you've been living under a rock, you might still think Ronald Acuna is still here. He's not. He's actually in the All-Star game. He was supposed to be the home representative for the Braves because it's taking place in Atlanta, but he decided not to participate. He got replaced by Matt Olson. So that's the main piece of news here for contestants. You have Cruz, who's the favorite at plus 115. James Wood, ooh, piece of candy, at around plus 290. You have Caminero at around 6-1 or 8-1 or so. Shop around, they can find different. Actually, no, wait, sorry, I'm looking at the exit velo lines. My bad. For the Home Run Derby, You have Cal Raleigh is the favorite at 295. You have Ono Cruz at around 330. You have James Wood at 450. You have Olson, last second replacement there, at around 6-1 or 8-1, give or take. You have Rooker at 850. You have Buxton at 950. You have Jazz Chisholm at 11-1, and you have Caminero at around 12-1. So once again, the main piece of news was Acuna being out and Olson being in. We'll start off with the favorites here, though. Cal Raleigh is the favorite because he's been mashing home runs. Is it a good competition for him? We don't know. I am going to throw out a piece of information. A catcher has never won the home run derby.
Piazza never did?
Never did. The closest was Ivan Rodriguez, who made the final.
Yep.
I think
it was like 06, right, or something.
But no catcher has ever won the award. Now, we did see Rushman in the competition a couple years ago, and that opens up a conversation. Which side will Raleigh bat from? Because he's a switch hitter. We don't know. He said he might do both, so keep that in mind. We'll see what happens.
Stupid.
I don't know what that means. We think he should bat lefty. Will he bat lefty? We don't know. So keep that in mind, but that might be a factor if you're interested in betting on Raleigh. With the favorites, I'm going to ask you for starters, do you think Raleigh should be the favorite in this competition?
Probably. Him or Acuna would have been my favorite. Like, I think overall should have been. Like, Acuna should have honestly was rightfully the up there. But Raleigh's, look, man, it's a match competition. And Colby Marchio famously said on a podcast that it was just too long, so I couldn't remember it. But he said that Cal Raleigh is basically a catcher version of Kyle Schwarber, which I think is extremely accurate.
Okay.
And that guy just mashes. So I don't know why he wouldn't bat left. I mean, when Adley, because I was at that game, Colby was at that game too. But I was at that game. He batted left and he just started clearing it because it's 325 to right field in Seattle. It's 325 to right field, or 313, 325 to right field in Atlanta. I don't know why he would go the other way, but there's a lot of reasons why I'm fading Cal. And there's a lot of stuff for people to keep in mind that if you are a Seattle Mariners fan and Cal Raleigh has a deep run in the home run derby, you should be very concerned for the rest of your season. Because it is not boded well, but it does not bode well when players have an extra 120 swings in the home run derby for their teams and their production later on. Alec Boehm, Randy Arozarena, lots of these guys. There's lots of evidence to this.
Yeah, I do want to point out that over the past, I'd say, couple of decades, as far as I'm concerned, there always is a notion or a reputation for the home run derby that it might kill the swing of somebody that's actually making a deep run of the contest. It's very, very hit or miss. It's very case study. You could argue that there is no correlation, but people will make it a correlation because they feel like it and they want to generate a narrative. So I'm not sure if that's actually true or not. But
no. But it is data back true. The production on all winners of the home run derby, with the exception of Aaron Judge, has massively declined in the second half of the season.
Yeah, so keep that in mind. Once again, not sure if that's officially because of it or that's a coincidence, but there has been some data suggesting that good home run derby runs actually hurts you in the long run.
Also, if you're a catcher, like, do people realize how much being a catcher is a toll on your body? Like,
he's missed one game.
What's that?
He's missed one game the entire season.
Yeah, so it's a lot, dude. But also, remember Luis Robert got hurt 2 years ago. Guys get hurt. Vlad got hurt in it. Like, people got hurt in it. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned Raleigh, and the fact is he does play a ton. We'll see if fatigue plays a factor in the later rounds. I think it might for this one. Now, do I think he should be favored in this contest? I'm going to go no.
Okay.
I understand why he's favored because he has more home runs than everybody else in the league. Do I think it's a good competition for him? I don't think so. I don't think it actually is.
But why?
It might be because of the catcher thing and how catchers have never won the event.
Oh, okay.
And stuff like that. But you mentioned a good point, which is him really playing every game basically this entire season. And a reminder, because his teammate Julio had 40-plus home runs in a round.
70 over the course of two of these.
Do I think Raleigh could have a monster first round and completely gas himself out? I think he can.
He doesn't hit for distance.
I don't want to take a guy under 3-1 when a catcher has never won the competition. I don't really want that. I think it's a bit too cheap for Raleigh, so I don't want to bother with him. I get why he's favored. I know we'd rather bet on other guys in the event, but I think Raleigh, we agree on, as a pass. especially at those odds.
Yeah,
If it was
I'm
like
not interested.
5 to
I'm not
1,
interested in betting him.
if it was 5 to 1 maybe, but
Sure.
295, I can't do that. That's a pass
No.
for me. Now it comes down to our boy
Captain Zato with a really good comment I'd love to respond to. Is there an age correlation? There is, with the exception of last year, under 26.
Okay. So keep that in mind. I'm going to mention a guy that is under 26 as the second favorite here. You have O'Neill Cruz, who's our guy, who might be the first guy to strike out in a home run derby competition. Do want to ask you, for this one at 330, thoughts on O'Neill? Luckily, they will not be throwing him actual pitches, so maybe he won't strike out.
I got zero interest in O'Neill Cruz. I understand. First of all, part of why O'Neill Cruz is able to hit hard is because of physics, hard in, hard out. So he will not be getting 95-mile-per-hour fastballs towards him. He will probably be getting 80-mile-per-hour fastball, if that.
Not even.
Not
probably
even.
Like
probably gonna be 75.
Yeah.
The reality, this is why we'll talk about this later, but it's why unders on distance across the board are usually good.
And
O'Neill Cruz, to quote another famous guy, has never tried a day in the majors. Yes, he has great raw power ceilings, but he does not try. And while he is a lefty, I think that bodes well in this competition, being a lefty. I want nothing to do with O'Neill Cruz. He's also got an OPS, by the way, of 760. So I don't know what has warranted him being the second shortest favorite odds. He's got 15 home runs or 16 home runs and an OPS of garbage. Like, get this guy out of here.
The reason why he's second favorite and why they correlated is because he has the lowest odds for exit velo leader, and people still might think the bonus involves 2 440-foot home runs. It doesn't. They changed the rules again. So everyone's probably getting the bonus in this one. So
I think everyone, it's so weird because they're like, here's your regular 3 minutes, and your automatic bonus and your second bonus. Yeah, you have to hit one 425-foot home run.
It used to be two separate
ones. Yeah.
So people would not actually make the bonus on occasion. So maybe that's why they're pricing it, because O'Neill will hit one at least 450 at some point, or he should. The point is everyone's getting the bonus because they made the requirements easier. So that's not really doing Cruz any favors. Now, I wouldn't pick Cruz anyway. I don't trust his focus. I don't think he's a very good player. I've said this before. I think he's the kind of guy who might hit the longest home run, but he'll lose in the first round. A quick burnout candidate. So if we were going, for example, which is not available anymore, last year we took Gunnar to lose immediately. I would consider taking Cruz immediately to lose in the first round. But there's no market for that, so we can't.
They had last year. They had the it's just market as overall, and it's also just like you get gas. Like you can look at it every year, with the exception of cores. The numbers went down every single go down as you get further in rounds. It's a lot of swings.
Do we know who's pitching for Cruz?
Yes, pitching for Cruz is basically effectively his batting practice guy. Let me just see. I have it up, but it's not. Oh, here it is. O'Neill Cruz has. So that's like a whole part of my cap from the last couple of years. O'Neill Cruz has assistant coach Steven Morales. It's a guy who trusts him. He's their best batting practice guy. He's never done a home run derby.
Okay. So once again, you might want to get a guy who has experience in the home run derby.
As we saw with Pete Alonso getting struck out when he switched out off of his normal.
That pitcher was throwing 2 seamers.
Hilarious. I remember texting you during that and being like, why is he trying to strike him out?
Yeah, he was. It was really, really funny. But Cruz, we're going to pass on at those odds, especially. Not interested at 330. James Wood, I see at 430. Once again, shop around, or 450. You can find better prices.
Yeah.
I know that I like James Wood. I know that you like James Wood.
Love James Wood.
I think you can make an argument that for the same reasons why people might like O'Neill Cruz, with the lefty element and the overall power, Wood does check the same boxes. I think he's more reliable, and his price is better.
Yep.
So I prefer taking Wood over Cruz. I know you agree, but what's the cases you want to make for Wood?
I mean, so the case for Wood is that he's the biggest guy in this competition physically. He's young. He's also the thing is about a lot of these guys who are using guys who hit to them in batting practice. Okay, O'Neill Cruz has a guy who throws to him in batting practice. O'Neill Cruz isn't having an all-star year. James Wood, you could argue, would be is using the guy one of the hitting coaches who he works with. Let me pull it up. He is using third base coach Ricky Gutierrez, who basically throws to him in batting practice. James Wood is having, I would argue, an all-star year. So for him to continue the form and keep those things, that's the big difference I have with a lot of these guys, is that if you're going to say, hey, I'm using the guy that's been throwing with me all year, but I haven't been having an elite year anyway, I don't know if that's really a good cap for me. So I love James Wood. He's not a pull hitter. Most of his stuff is center and oppo. Atlanta Truist does have one of the shorter center field porches. It's 400, not like 405, 402, like some of the other ones. But I love James Wood just based on the raw power. He's like top 5. He's right behind O'Neal Cruz in every one of the metrics that everyone gets excited about O'Neal Cruz for, but he's 6'7". And I like James Wood, I think is a buy. He's a buy. I think he's a buy.
Yeah, I don't really have any data about recent form mattering for home run derbies. I'm assuming they don't. I know Wood's been terrible for the last week or two. I don't think it actually matters that much.
I don't. Yeah, he's let me just look. It's been. He hasn't. His last 10. His power metrics are fine.
The power metrics could be okay. I know that he struck out 3+ times in 3 of the last 5, but once again, I don't know if it actually matters. Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
He's also going against pitchers that are trying to.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it matters.
His hard hit rate, his barrel rate's 7%. His hard hit rate could be higher, but he's got his home run fly ball ratio in his last 10 is 66%. So.
Yeah, I think the main reason why we're interested in Wood, though, is because for a guy that we think just has pure raw power, probably the most raw power in the entire competition, he has a lot of similar metrics, as you said before, to Cruz, but his price is better. So
yeah, and he's just also a better player.
Yeah, that too.
I mean, if we're gonna talk about we're gonna have James Wood in this conversation versus O'Neal Cruz has an OPS of 760, whereas James Wood, I'm just going to pull this up real quick. James Wood, baseball savant. James Wood's OP. Oh, I don't even know why I did that. I could have done it.
This season it's at 9.
Have it on Handigraphs right here. Oh, dang it.
It's at 915.
Yeah, they're both on bad teams. So that's fine. I was just using Handigraphs for it all because it makes life a lot easier.
I just had it up already.
No, it's fine because I have all his metrics are on it. But it's like his expected slugging is 564 and O'Neal Cruz's is 380. What are we doing here? I mean his OPS, I have the 915. I love it. And it's stuff, and it's higher on the road, by the way.
Yeah, so we'll move on from Wood. I know we definitely like Wood. Did you find a better price, by the way, than 450?
Yeah, because I took it at 6-1.
Yeah, so I don't know if that price has plummeted or 6 or 1s are still available, but you can probably still find a 5-1 or so somewhere if you shop around.
Yep.
I'll ask you about Olsen. Last second fill-in. I know that we do like lefties a bit more in this competition. Olsen's a guy who I think might do well early. I don't think he'll sustain it for an entire competition. I said before with Julio, he had 40+ in the first round. That seems to be the kind of theme with home field guys. After Harper won and Frazier won.
Yeah, Adam Frazier or Todd Frazier? I never remember. Todd, yeah.
Yeah, Todd Father. The home field guys have not done well in this competition for the last decade or so. They seem to get off to a hot start, but they go a bit too hard in the first round.
Yeah.
And
they want to put on a show.
They blow their load and they end up just falling apart physically and they can't sustain it. So Olsen I'll pass on. I think the first round could be intriguing for Olsen, but I also don't know if he's the kind of guy that... Do you think it's a good competition for him in general? Because I know that he had 50+ home runs a couple years ago.
Yeah, he's bigger than Rooker.
Yeah.
And he's the same kind of...
Get to Rooker in a second. There are some guys I have no interest in at all.
No, but I meant physically. What I'm saying is that physically, he's also like a regular 30 home run hitter. I like him to make the finals at 3-1. Because you kind of can get a little bit of that storyline of the hometown person's in there. He's also from Georgia, so he's going to be pretty amped for it. But he, his split metrics have been kind of weird this year. His stuff, I think that he's also a phenomenal pull hitter in a park that he knows. So I like him at 3-1 for Olsen to make the finals is, I think, the best way to play him.
Yeah, but you also think that he might go a bit too hard early, and that's why you don't want to take him to win this.
His exit velos aren't there. When I look at, I had it on Savant earlier last night, but some of these, home run stat tracking, some of these, like his no doubter, like he doesn't have a lot of no doubters. Like he doesn't have a lot of like his distance isn't high. His exit velo is fine, like not exceptional. I don't know. It's just not like it's not. This isn't a guy that I want. Let me just look. Olsen. Yeah, Olsen's max exit velo this season is 113, which is towards the bottom of this competition. You know what it is? It's that his launch angles are really good.
Yeah.
Like he's probably got the best launch angles. His average distance is 398. He's again, this
and
is
for the most part, he's dead pull. So that's going to help.
Yeah.
But so Olsen, once again, you like to make the final at 3-1. I'll move on to the other guys because now we're in the long shot territory.
38% pull rate this year, 31% to center, which is these are kind of in play numbers, but they're not like they're not a guy who's going to get in a run. That's the thing. You need a guy who's going to get a run and can do it. And the thing about James Wood is that James Wood doesn't pull. If James Wood decides, hey, I'm going to pull, it's over.
Yeah, pretty much. But those are going to do it for the favorites. I know we kind of branched into some of the middle shots there. Rooker's at 850. I'll get to Rooker in a second because I have a prop for him later, but I'm not interested in Rooker.
I like him to lead the first round in home runs because he's the best. He's the best pull hitter in the competition. He has a 67% pull rate, which is absurd.
Yeah.
So he's the kind of person who could get into a run and just keep going. And I think it's 8-1. What did we take him at? I took him at most home runs in the first round. Brent Rooker 8-1. I like that a lot.
Yeah, but for the actual competition, I don't see him winning it.
No.
I'll get to his, once again, reason why in a second, but I don't like Rooker to win the competition. Don't mind a fast start potentially, but I do think him winning is not going to happen. Moving on to Buxton at 950, who is in great form. He's healthy for once. Congratulations. I'm kind of wondering why he's in the competition because he can't stay healthy. He for the cycle, though, a couple days ago. Good for him. 950 for Buxton. He does have the longest home run of anybody in the field of the season. Any thoughts on Buxton?
Old. He's too old.
Okay, there you go.
Too old and always hurt when he plays games that matter. I'm not interested in Buxton. Though Buxton's metrics are really good.
Yeah, that's why I was asking.
In a very similar ballpark, but this is a stamina thing. I don't think Buxton can make it to the end.
Yeah, I didn't mind maybe him leading the first round, but that was kind of
I like that. I like that one too. I mean, as I look at Buxton, let's see. Yeah, 53% pull rate. I like that. He's got the same odds almost as Rooker, so it's the same cap. So I like that a lot.
So I thought about Buxton to lead the first round, but that's basically it. Now you get to the long shots, the double-digit shots. You have Jazz Chisholm, and you have Junior Caminero. Jazz quickly, no chance. I think it's a bad competition for him. Corny, yes, announcers. He's been battling a shoulder issue for a while, but he's still playing through it. He's been fine, but I don't think it's a good competition for him. I get that he's a flashy guy, he's entertaining. The overall power compared to the other guys of the competition, pretty weak, and there is some type of injury he's dealing with, and he's playing through it. So I'll pass on Jazz. Not interested. You have anything you want to add on Jazz there? Because I don't think that he is a guy who I would pick to win the thing. You could argue that he is the least qualified contestant, because I don't really see him being an elite home run hitter, and he's here. So I wouldn't pick Jazz at all.
Yeah, I mean, let me he has good raw power grades. And if he knows what he's doing, it could happen. It just doesn't work for me because his distance and stuff isn't there. His pull, look, he's a lefty and he can pull, so it's always there. But yeah, it's just I'm not interested in Jazz.
I don't think Jazz is in the right competition personally. I understand if he was fully healthy, I may consider it, but Yankees broadcasters have talked about this for a while. He has some type of shoulder issue that he's playing through, so I'm not interested.
I mean, but the thing is that they all do, and then like they take a cortisone shot.
Correct, but the point is that if you're going to be swinging for 2+ hours, I want the guy whose shoulders are not potentially destroyed. So for a long-term competition, I'm not sold on the injury news with Jazz, so I'll pass him there for that one. Then we get to the longer shot with Junior Caminero, who does not have much distance for home runs this season, but he's in the 100th percentile for bat speed.
Yep.
So he definitely can mash if needed. I want you to make the case for Junior because I know that you have a case for Junior.
My case for Junior is that Junior is right behind James Wood and O'Neal Cruz in terms of bat speed, EV, velocity. He's also he was MVP of the Dominican League. He's played a lot of baseball because he played He played the Dominican League. He was their MVP. Awesome in spring training. Obviously, like I think that his number is reflective that people are just not giving him a lot of credit because they think that a lot of this is because he plays at Steinbrenner. I don't totally agree with that assessment. I think that he's a pretty solid. He's an overall solid player. He's also in really, really good form. Look, he's on pace for like 40 home runs, and him being in the top percentiles of the things that matter. The biggest problem I have with Junior Caminero is that he also leads the league in grounding into double plays, which means that if he gets into, I want to play the Caminero variants. Like Caminero could either win this thing or completely flame out in the first round.
But he's the longest odds anyway. So
right. And I think that that's kind of reflective of those types of things. But Caminero has the pieces that I look for on a home run hitter in this competition. And he has, most importantly, he is the only person in the competition who has someone throwing to them that has pitched in the home run derby before, which is, in my opinion, the most important part of this. Thomas Francisco is pitching to him, who pitched to Randy Arozarena 2 years ago. Randy Arozarena, by the way, if you haven't been watching baseball, he stinks. And he was a runner-up in Seattle. So the pitcher matters. My entire cap last year on Teoscar Hernandez was who he had pitching to him. Same thing for it this year. Caminero's ceiling is pretty high based on the fact that he has somebody who's done this before doing this with him.
Yeah, by comparison, once again, I think it's insane that Jazz has lower odds than Caminero.
Jazz's stepdad is also pitching to him, which is an automatically disqualification for me.
Yeah.
Don't Harper's dad pitched to him, but otherwise don't back dads. Don't back the dads. Todd Rowley's pitching to Cal Rowley. It's another reason to fade him. Okay. The dads don't know what they're doing.
There you go. So you want some experience with pitching, and that's what Caminero has. So we're going to get into the props in a second. We do have a pretty lengthy prop section. Do you want to ask you, though, for your official outright picks, just run through what you have again?
Outrights, I got James Wood, and I got Caminero.
Okay. And do you have any exact finalist outcome stuff, or you're not going to bother?
I did when Acuna was in it. I had Caminero versus Acuna, and then I voided. I like James. I like James Wood to make the semis. It's like we got it at -115. It's like -130 now. I think that's a good price. I think it's a really good price on arguably at least the top 3 player in here. I mean, that's the thing is like I see Trevor talking about the EV. Like some of the things with some of the EV stuff on this, you just got to remember like you're not getting pitched a 98-mile-per-hour cutter. So the EV isn't. You just want like good swings and good form. Yeah. Caminero has a excellent swing and great bat speed. So
100 percentile.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. But it is a good point to mention once again, you are not going to be expecting to see a lot of redirection when it comes to these batters. They have to generate a ton of the power themselves because they're being handed softball pitches. Yep. So keep that in mind for the competition. That's why we took the unders on the exit velos. It's why
we'll get to what we also took. Our favorite bets are the most boring bets in this thing. I can't wait to get to it.
But the point is, since everyone's picking home runs, it's like the under on player props. It's not a fun angle, but you make money a lot more often than the overs.
You make more money betting on things to not happen than you do betting them to happen.
Correct, and that's what I've been preaching on our prop show pretty much every episode. It's why I keep taking unders. But anyway, it's going to wrap it up for the outright. It's time to move on into the actual props that we have for the contest. Before we get into that, though, reminder, they're brought to you by our sponsor, which is Circa, still hosting the Circa Million Circa Survivor contest. They can know ball, you can prove it. Enter the Circa Football contest with $21 million guaranteed prizes. There's no rake, so the entries go above the guarantee. The extra money will be added to the prize pool. Circa Million pick 5 teams ATS each week, or go for the ultimate sweat. Circa Survivor, enter the Circa Rendismo, a 100K Circa Survivor contest as well. Much are in person at Circa Sportsbook in Nevada. And remind you can sign up in Nevada, play from anywhere. Help with SGPN's official proxy. Go to footballcontest.com. Use code SGP, get $50 off your proxy fees. We're also brought to you by MyBookie.ag because they're available at 10 locations. Who's Bookie?
MyBookie.
MyBookie has a bunch of sports. They have baseball, they have WNBA, they have golf, they have football futures, tennis included. They also have crypto for fast payouts. Use a positive sign up for an account. Use the code SGPN to get a special 100% deposit match up to 1K. Terms and conditions apply. MyBookie.ag promo code SGPN. Welcome back, everyone, to the Gamble Gambling Podcast. Finished going through the outrights for the Home Run Derby. Time to move on into the prop bets that we have for the card. Now, there are a bunch of props to actually go with. We mentioned a couple already. We mentioned the round 1 props that we like to lead, for example. If you want to go for Rooker, you want to go for Olsen, you want to go for Buxton, stuff like that. Do want to ask you, though, for the actual props, Adam, where do you want to start? Because we have a lot of stuff we're interested in.
Okay, so we gave out outrights. We did that. I think let's start with distance. Let's talk about things that have to do with distance, because you and I have a couple takes on this. And the thing that I want to start with, it's one of my so overall longest home run under 479 feet at even money on DK. I think actually, let me see if that is still the case.
I have it up. I have it up right now. The longest home run, yeah. I
Still
see even money on the under.
Yeah. So the distance has consistently gone down, other than Coors Field. In the last
ignore Coors.
Ignore Coors Field. In the last 6 years.
They had the ball in the humidor as well, so that doesn't even matter at
all. 2019 488 in Cleveland. 2021 was Coors, so 2020 was COVID. 2021 was Coors, so we don't care. 2022 Soto had 482. 2023 480. And then 2024 Ozuna had 473. This has consistently gone down. Not one of these guys has hit a home run further than 479 feet this year. Byron Buxton is the one who has done that. These guys all kind of actually, most of these guys are actually on the lower end of distance. So give me that under 479 as the longest. And yeah, I'm a big fan of that one.
Yeah, I like the under as well. I bet it every year, and it cashes almost every time. Even the Coors one, I think Coors was at like 514.5, and we're like, sure.
And and then all the Miami ones. Basically, if Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton and Mike Trout are the only guys that have these kind of like obliterated balls to the moon.
Yeah, pretty much.
Otherwise, it hasn't happened.
Yeah, and as Trevor's mentioning, Cruz has the cheapest exit velo price. He hit one about 120-something miles per hour this year, and it only went 463. People don't realize how hard it actually is to hit a home run that far when the pitch is going at 50 miles an hour. It's very difficult because at least you can use the speed from the pitch.
He hit that off of a 98 mile per hour sweeper.
Yeah, because you take the speed and you redirect it, and with the power, that can create like a multiplier.
Most people that watch sports don't understand physics.
Yeah, the point is that if you're throwing a pitch at 50 miles an hour and you have to do it all yourself, the ball is going to be traveling less than you expect. So you might see a lot in the 450 range, maybe 440 range, but you're looking at 480. Like, that's a massive line. And it's
last year was 485, by the way, and it easily went under.
And it's worth mentioning that for Cruz's longest home run, it's at 471.5. That's the highest in the entire field by 7. He's 7 higher than Wood. So the highest individual number is 471.5. But the highest number overall is roughly 8 more than the highest individual one.
What doesn't make sense on that is that the number that's the highest is Buxton's longest of the year, which is the longest in competition, and Buxton's number is 460.
Yes. So, like, a lot of this doesn't really make any sense. So just keep that in mind. If you wanted the over because you're afraid of Buxton, they bet the over on Buxton at 460.5. But the fact that Cruz is the highest at 471.5, and they added another 8 feet for basically no reason, I find kind of insane. So I like the under with you on that. I think you'll see the longest being probably mid 460s in this competition, if I had to guess. But for individual players for distance, is there anybody that you're targeting? Some numbers that are too high?
Yeah, from my end, I'm gonna take. You and I talked about this a little bit. So I like James Wood to have the longest home run.
Okay.
Part of it is that I found it at 5-1 on Bet 365. It's like 350 other places. So get somebody to put a bet in for you over there. He loves to hit to center field. Most of his home runs are there. If you are hitting a ball to center field, you are by definition probably going to be hitting it it's the furthest part of the park. And so that being his sweet spot, his size, his power, the way that he just sort of operates on his swing, I like him to lead the entire thing in that. And then I also like, and I know you have somebody for this too, but I like Cal Raleigh longest home run under 454. He basically, when we looked at it, I had all my stuff last night, guys, so I apologize on this, but Raleigh's average is 386. His average is 386. His furthest is 440. And all the things that we talked about on like how you can get distance, this is just too high for him. So, maybe he gets that one, but sure. But give me the under 450, whatever it was on Cal Rally for
Yeah,
longest
so
home run.
I did, by the way, see that Baseball Savant does have the max home run distance for every season, if you want to break it down that way.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
The longest in his entire career is 450. So he's never hit it above 450. I think the line's too high. So I agree with you about Raleigh. Not to mention the fact that fatigue could play a factor. I don't know which side he's going to use. There's a chance he uses his inferior side. We'll see what happens, but that number does feel high. I like the under on that one. I like a separate under for distance. I'm going to go with Rooker. I think Rooker's is too high as well. Now, there was a massive line differential for Rooker, which was the cherry on top here. So DraftKings has 452.5. Caesars had 440.5. So you're getting an extra 12 feet for no reason. Thanks. I'll take it. Rooker has really not done a great job at hitting distance home runs this season. So far this year, Rooker has one home run that went 440. Every other home run that he's had, 18 of the 19 have gone below 425. He has one outlier at 440. And even in his career, he has one home run that went 460 plus. That was in Coors Field. He has a couple in Philly that ended up going 450, but that was in Philly 2-3 years ago. But mentioning the max distance, the last 2 years, his longest home run's 452. But once again, this year 440. Every home run besides one has been below 425. I think it's a great overall spot to fade Rooker. I think Rooker, as you said, is a dead pull guy. He might hit a lot of volume. I don't see many being absolute nukes. But 450 and change is really high for a guy who has one over 425 this year and none over 441. So give me a Rooker under on that.
Amongst guys, this is part of the other reason why I liked this under, and I like the Cal Rally under. Amongst guys who have 15 or more home runs, which is everybody in this competition, anybody in this competition, the no doubter percentage. First of all, James Wood's way up there.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who's way down there? Rooker. Olsen, Jazz, and Raleigh.
Yep. So there you go. Those are our personal fades there. I don't mind the Cruz under as well.
Olsen's actually is by far the lowest of anybody else's of anybody's in here. Which
that doesn't surprise me. Olsen's at 454.5. If you want to go for that approach as well, so keep that in mind.
That's it's too high.
So there you go. Once again, a lot of unders have value in this competition. Trevor mentioning Cruz under at 471.5. I don't mind it, but to be honest, we have the longest in the competition.
Yeah, I'd rather take the longest.
I think we're fine.
Yeah, you have 8 more. You get 8 more miles per hour, or you get 8 more feet out of it.
Yeah, pretty much. Unless you're concerned about Wood or Buxton hitting one, but the pitch is being slower, I doubt it. So I don't mind that angle too. But that's all I really have for props. Anything else you want to share? I know you mentioned Wood highest exit velo. I co-sign that.
But I don't love it. I would rather the lower on the exit velo. There's one more that I do like. Most home runs by any player in the first round under 25.5. 26.5 on Bet 365, under 25.5 is fine.
Okay.
So just to kind of go through, last year nobody. So this is the same rules as last year, but they actually made it even worse. You get 40 pitches or 3 minutes, whichever comes first. First of all, if you were to have 26 home runs in the 40 pitches, you would hit that over 75% clip, which I don't think is happening. And if you look, the last year no one had more than 21. 2023, Julio had his nominee, and Vlad and Luis Robert barely got there. 2022, one person did it. It was Julio. They were an outlier. 2021 is Coors. We don't care. 2019, one person, Vlad. So of the 6 people who have hit 25 or more home runs in the first round since 2019 in non-Coors year, Julio and Vlad are 4 of those 6.
Yeah.
Someone's saying that they see highest recorded exit velocity at 115. Do we take the under? I don't know if I like the under on that. I don't know. So I haven't seen it, but that's great. 117 was where guys topped out last year. Last year, the number was 118, which seemed about right. So I don't, 115 actually seems a little bit too low for me on this one.
I would consider individual players, but they got rid of that market. So I'd avoid the exit velo. I'd rather go with under distance. Yeah. Because even if you end up getting to 116 or 117, if the angle's not right, it's a line drive that goes about like 430. That's a possibility too. So I'd rather go distance on that personally. So I'll pass on that, Squirrels. But I like where your head's at, though. But
so anyway, my favorite bet on the entire thing is the under 25.5 in the first round. Maybe that's wrong, but
so I
whatever.
do want to ask you though, there are 3 rounds to win the competition, correct?
Yes.
The
This is
the most
first round.
Yeah. So I'm asking about the entire competition because I do see on DraftKings they have total home runs by the winner at 53.5. And I'm wondering conceptually, if we're picking basically maybe one guy goes over 25, he might gas himself out. That doesn't really matter.
Sure.
But if you're looking at 3 rounds and one guy even gets low 20s to like 23, 24, he still needs 30 plus in the final 2 rounds.
Yeah, but 15 and 15 is very doable.
Okay.
And you run the risk of a swing off.
That's true.
What happens later on is that both guys get gassed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Teoscar won in the swing off.
But also in theory, if your guy goes second, then you could stop swinging because you already won.
Sure. Yeah, in theory.
We don't have to bet that. I was just wondering for the total.
No, I get it. I like the first round a little bit more. I'm looking at just like, so last year, what did he have? He had 30. He had 49. What's the number?
The number was 53.5.
It's probably a little too high.
Plus 105 on the under. That's why I was asking.
Don't hate it.
Because I think if somebody has that
monster
card,
but I don't hate it.
If somebody has the 30-something first round, they're probably just going to run out of gas and lose immediately anyway.
No, I agree. I don't hate it. I mean, and I have like a boost that I got to use, so I'll probably do that.
I'm just throwing out some ideas.
No. I think that's a good idea.
All right.
What I really want is those head-to-heads, and they're not here.
Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate. But so a reminder for format, it's going to be no bracket for the first round. Then I believe they add brackets for the semis and the finals, correct?
It's just the final 4.
Yeah. So there you go. Anyway, anything else you want to add for the competition?
No, we all got wood.
Yep, there we go. Before we get into our best bets for the actual show.
Do you want to see if there's an underdog thing on it? Let me look while you're doing that. Yeah, we
can. Before we get into the actual underdog potentially and the best bets, a reminder they're brought to you by our sponsor, which is Underdog Fantasy, because we're doing Best Mania happening all summer long. If you're into fantasy football, give it a look. 15 million in prizes, going to $2 million first place, and a waiver wire. No arguments about trades. It's a great best ball option for you. Best way to play fantasy football is with Best Ball. And a reminder, you can always use it for pick'ems as well. For entries, when you sign up, though, for your new account, use code MLB SGPN to get a special pick in the first time that offer up to $1K in bonus cash. A fantasy promo code MLB SGPN. We're also brought to by Rhythm because they have power trends, which are the best of the best for what models have to offer. They are edited patterns for those models give you the best props that they have. And a reminder, they're updated every day. They're exclusive to Rhythm, and they have great overall track record so far. MLB is 254 and 147, win rate at 63%. WNBA, though, has a win rate of 63%, so keep that in mind, with an ROI of 20.7%, so keep that in mind. But a reminder, check out the Rhythm actual power trends on the app. Check out the Rhythm app in itself on the App Store. Start betting smarter. And you also can try it for free for a week by using the free trial. Go to sportsgamble.com/rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Went to the Home Run Derby. Time to move on into our best bets for the show. Adam, for starters, what is your best bet for the competition?
The under 25.5 in the first round.
Okay.
My favorite. My favorite bet. Yep. I'm just seeing if we have anything. Oh, we do have home run derby stuff here. Oh, I think we got to build one, right?
Yeah, we'll build one in a second. For my best bet, it's either the longest distance of one home run under, or it's the Rooker under. I think I'll go Rooker under. Okay. The fact is, Caesars gave you a 12-foot differential, which makes me believe that the DraftKings line is insanely rogue. I'll jump on that. Give me the Rooker under, longest distance at 452.5. So that's going to be my, once again, best bet there. It's at minus 110. I just think it's an overall great number, so I'll go with that as my best bet for the competition. Shout out honorable mention, though, to the longest distance overall under 479.5. Anyway, time for the Underdog entry because Underdog has stuff. So that's fun.
It's interesting what they have. But Skills is also as who do we take to win overall? We both like Wood. I like Caminero and Wood. I think Scott's aligned with me. We like Wood.
Yeah, we like Wood. I was willing to throw a flyer on Buxton first round leader.
Okay. So the only things that they'll give us are higher, lower on their first round home runs. Longest distance, they'll only let us go higher.
Okay.
They won't even let us go lower, which is just
Scam.
criminal, and they'll let us go better. Their words, not mine. Better on the round one finishing positions. So let's go with what you were saying. Okay, do you want to do? Why don't we do? Do you want to do Byron Buxton higher 18.5 round one first home runs as a leg?
We can if you like Bucks in the first round.
Well, you just said you did. I'm just trying to.
I think he's in line for a good competition.
So let's do that. Do you like that, or do you like the round one finishing position higher than 4.5?
Wait, so higher meaning better, or
Like,
higher?
do you think he makes it to this? Well, so here's what I think. Then a better thing. Let's take James Wood. James Wood higher round one finishing position 4.5, meaning he makes the semis. So
I'm just making sure that's higher and not lower, because
no, it is. It's
okay.
better.
Okay.
Is what the phrasing is. Yeah. So
okay,
better. Let's take Buxton over 18.5 in the first round.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then you want to just completely fade out Jazz?
I was going to ask what the Jazz position was.
Same as the 17.5, so we could do lower 17.5 for Jazz. You want to do that?
Do you think it's a good competition for him? Because I don't.
I don't. I think that they've given us 4 two-way options, and so we're very limited.
There we go. That's fine. So
it would be either that, or I would say, I mean, we already have Rooker higher. I would say the Rooker higher in the first round. I liked too.
Yeah, we can go with the fade. That's fun.
I'd rather do the fade. It's a little more fun.
There we go.
Okay, so cool. I like that we got to do this. Oh, by the way, we're off an underdog win for people that did not tune in. Like we're off a monster one.
Yes, we are.
Okay, so it's a 4.69 payout. It's Byron Buxton higher 18.5 round one first round home runs. James Wood to move to get to the second round. Wood to
finish top 4.
Top 4. And Jazz to suck at life.
That's at 17.5, right?
Yep.
Okay, there we go. And what's the payout on that?
50 to win 234.
There we go. So anyway, it's going to wrap it up for the actual show. Now, we will not be back on Wednesday. I will not be back on Friday.
Do you want me to do it on Friday?
It's up to you. I can set it up for you if you want to do it.
Yeah, I'll do it.
So there you go. Adam will go solo for the prop show. I can probably end up texting some picks in if we want to.
Yeah, and then I'll do what you did with mine, and I'll call out your stuff.
So that's fine. But anyway, that's going to wrap up for the Home Run Derby. Of course, we'll be back later on in the week. And until next time, I'm on Twitter, Radio. Find him on Twitter at Rosenberg. And until next time, good luck to all of you and all of your bets. Bye.